If I were to fight Jake Paul, I would take it completely seriously like a real fight, and I'd whoop his ass, I'd beat him.
I don't think he ever gets into the ring and risks his alpha male appearance.
The news that has sent shockwaves through the world of combat sports, social media, and beyond. Andrew Tate, the controversial social media influencer and former kickboxing champion, has confirmed his highly anticipated fight with Jake Paul. Scheduled for 2025, this bout promises to be one of the biggest clashes in modern combat sports. For months, rumors have been swirling about the possibility of the two men facing off in the boxing ring, and now it is official. In this script, we will break down everything you need to know about this upcoming showdown, from the personal history between Tate and Paul to the impact this fight will have on both their careers in the broader world of combat sports.
Seeing them square off for the first time, the internet blew up, everyone was talking about this fight. But why? So we've got Andrew Tate, who's the most spoke about man in the world right now. He is absolutely everywhere. Then we've got this guy, Jake Paul, who is making massive moves in the boxing scene. And he is one of the most famous people in the world right now.
Before diving into the details of the fight itself, it's important to understand the personal history between Andrew Tate and Jake Paul. Their rivalry has been brewing for years, marked by social media clashes, insults, and public taunts. Andrew Tate, who rose to fame as a kickboxer and controversial figure, has long been a vocal critic of social media influencers like Jake Paul. Tate has built a reputation as a brash, outspoken personality, often taking to platforms like Twitter and Instagram to engage in heated debates. Jake Paul, meanwhile, is a YouTube star turned boxer who has garnered both praise and criticism for his entry into the sport. Despite his initial reputation as an entertainer, Paul has proven himself to be a serious contender in the boxing world, with an undefeated record that includes wins over former MMA champions and other celebrity opponents.
I quite like Jake, and I think he trains really hard.
Yeah.
And I think he's dedicated to the sport, and he's seriously actually a boxer. I don't think he's a YouTuber, I think he's a boxer.
The two men have had a number of public spats, with Tate frequently mocking Paul's boxing abilities and calling him a fake fighter. Jake Paul, for his part, has often retorted by labeling Tate as a has-been and challenging him to settle their differences in the ring. Their back-and-forth trash talk eventually reached a boiling point, and now it's clear that the time for words is over. The two are finally going to step into the ring and let their fists do the talking. The confirmation of the fight came directly from Andrew Tate in a live stream on his official social media account.
A fight and you want to send a contract, send one to me. I will take a few weeks break from living my retired life to kick the living fuck out of a fucking goofy, fucking entitled dickhead like you. You know my name, Andrew Tate. Fucking Google it if you want to know more. Any day, anytime.
During the stream, Tate addressed his fans, explaining that after months of speculation, the fight with Jake Paul is officially booked for 2025. While Tate did not give specific details about the exact date or venue, he emphasized that both fighters are eager to make the matchup happen.
He's got to see it.
Andrew Tate will not fight Jake. And if he does, it'd be a money play. He's going to get his ass kicked.
So much money.
He's going to get his ass kicked, and the top G facade will finally be.
Tate's announcement was met with an overwhelming reaction from fans and media alike. The prospect of seeing two of the most polarizing figures in combat sports face off in the ring has generated massive excitement, with predictions about the fight already starting to flood social media.
Go. Work. Come on, keep going. Work. Come on, fight. Make it. Hey. Big Nicholas. Come on, 20 seconds to walk, Steve. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, work. 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 Good. Work. 10 seconds. Work.
The fact that the fight is happening in 2025 also gives both fighters ample time to prepare, ensuring that the clash will be as competitive as possible. For both Andrew Tate and Jake Paul, this fight is more than just another payday or publicity stunt. It is a chance to solidify their legacies and prove their worth in the world of professional combat sports. Jake Paul's boxing career has been met with skepticism ever since he first stepped into the ring.
Somebody like me, he'd mentioned me before, and there'll be people out there saying, oh, Carl Froch's talking about himself, he's after a payday. Listen, I'm not after a payday. I'm doing all right. There's no problems with my finances.
Critics have often accused Paul of cherry-picking opponents who are past their prime or have limited boxing experience. However, Paul has consistently denied these accusations, claiming that he is a legitimate boxer who is willing to take on anyone who challenges him. A fight with Andrew Tate would be a massive step up in competition for Paul, as Tate is a seasoned kickboxer with a wealth of experience in striking.
You lose to an old man who's retired. I live in the real fucking world, Jake. There's a whole bunch of fighters out here who live in the real fucking world. Men who are dangerous and dedicated their lives to this sport and don't have a fucking fraction of the money you have because you managed to become
A victory over Tate would be the biggest win of Paul's career and could go a long way in silencing his critics. On the other hand, a loss would leave Paul open to even more criticism, as Tate's boxing skills are untested, and many believe that Paul should be able to defeat him with relative ease. For Andrew Tate, this fight is an opportunity to prove that his trash-talking persona isn't just for show. Tate has been vocal about his belief that he is the superior fighter, and a win over Jake Paul would validate his status as a legitimate combat athlete.
That doesn't feel fair. Prime Tyson would have ripped me apart in a boxing match, so to beat him when he's past his prime just feels dishonorable, and I feel dirty.
Despite being a former kickboxing world champion, Tate's boxing skills have been largely untested, and many fans are curious to see how he fares in the squared circle against a fighter with more boxing experience than his usual opponents. If Tate is able to beat Paul,
Obviously, Andrew Tate can fight. He is a hard man. He's in great shape, and he's just got that stubbornness about him where I think he's a right hard.
it would cement his reputation as a true martial artist and show that he is more than just a social media personality. However, a loss would damage his credibility and tarnish his legacy in combat sports. Both Andrew Tate and Jake Paul will have to undergo intense training camps in preparation for their showdown. While Tate's background in kickboxing gives him a unique skill set, boxing is a different animal altogether, and Tate will need to make significant adjustments to his training regimen.
Quite like Jake. And I think he trains really hard.
Yeah.
And I think he's dedicated to the sport, and he's seriously actually a boxer. I don't think he's a YouTuber, I think he's a boxer.
Jake Paul has already shown that he takes his boxing career seriously, and he has trained with some of the best in the business. Under the guidance of his coach, V.A. Flores, Paul has developed a strong jab, a powerful right hand, and solid footwork. He has sparred with experienced fighters and has fought on major boxing cards, giving him the experience needed to face a seasoned opponent like Tate. Paul's training camp for the fight with Tate will likely focus on improving his defensive skills and honing his ability to deal with Tate's unorthodox style. Although Tate is a world-class kickboxer, his boxing skills will be put to the test in this fight. Tate has been working closely with boxing trainers to improve his technique, particularly when it comes to his footwork, head movement, and punching accuracy. Tate is known for his brash, aggressive fighting style, which could play into his advantage against Paul. However, Tate will need to adjust his mindset and approach to focus purely on boxing, as Paul is no slouch in the ring. The most important aspect of Tate's preparation will be his ability to adapt to the smaller gloves, the pace of a boxing match, and the nuances of scoring and positioning that differ from kickboxing. While the build-up to the fight between Jake Paul and Andrew Tate has been full of trash talk, mind games, and social media drama, fans are curious to see what will actually happen when the two step into the ring. What type of fight can we expect? Andrew Tate's primary weapon is his striking, and he has shown an ability to knock out opponents with precision and power. However, boxing presents a different set of challenges. Tate will have to rely on his conditioning and his ability to land clean shots, while also avoiding Paul's dangerous right hand. On the other hand, Jake Paul's boxing fundamentals have improved over time, and he's shown that he's capable of controlling the pace of a fight with his jab and footwork. Paul will need to stay patient and avoid getting drawn into a brawl with Tate, as the kickboxer is known for his aggressive style. One of the most fascinating aspects of this fight will be the mental battle. Both fighters are known for their psychological tactics, and it's likely that they will try to outsmart each other both inside and outside the ring. Andrew Tate is a master of mind games and could try to use his psychological advantage to rattle Paul. However, Jake Paul has proven to be mentally tough in the past, and he won't be intimidated by Tate's bravado. The key to this fight will be which fighter is able to maintain focus and avoid getting emotionally compromised. Once the fight is over, there will likely be massive implications for both fighters' careers. For Jake Paul, a victory would solidify his place in the world of professional boxing and help him move on to bigger and more competitive matchups. He could potentially target other top-tier boxers or even continue to build his brand by taking on high-profile opponents from different combat sports. For Andrew Tate, a victory would mark his return to the combat sports spotlight and provide validation for his trash-talking persona. Tate has always believed in his abilities as a fighter, and a win over Jake Paul would go a long way in cementing his legacy as a true martial artist. Whether he continues to pursue a career in boxing or returns to kickboxing remains to be seen. But but a victory would undoubtedly